It was so cold at the lake, and the wind almost blew me away. I'm glad we found some boulders to hide behind.
Big rocks like that make a great natural shelter, and God wants to be your spiritual shelter. Hey, I'm glad to have you with me today on the Countdown to Christmas podcast. I'm Zach, and I'm thrilled to share another exciting Advent story with you today, and then after, we'll talk about it with some kids your age. Have you ever been out in nature on a cold and windy day? If so, you know the value of a huge rock to block all that wind. Now, rocks aren't the only thing that can shelter you, and that's what Brennan learns today in our story. His dad teaches him all about Psalm 62, where it says, "He is my rock, the only one who can save me. He is my high place of safety where no army can defeat me. My victory and honor come from God. He is the mighty rock where I am safe." Let's join them in our story. It's called Rock Solid Protection. Brennan listened as the woman on TV reported that temperatures had dropped to a record-breaking low with a strong wind. "Can we still go for our breakfast tomorrow morning?" he asked anxiously. To him, the best part of the season was having breakfast with Dad the day before Christmas. Each year, they'd get up at dawn, load backpacks with supplies, and walk through the snow to a favorite spot on a nearby lake. There they would start a fire and cook their food. Now, he wondered if they would have to change their plans because of the weather. "It will be an adventure, a really cold one," said Dad. "But let's do it." Early the next morning, they dressed in several layers of warm clothes and headed for the lake. Wind whipped the snow all around, stinging Brennan's cheeks. When they finally made it to the rocky lakeshore, Brennan was so cold. "Maybe we shouldn't have come," he yelled to his father over the sound of the wind. "We'll be okay," Dad assured him. "Head for those huge boulders over there." Behind a towering rock, Brennan instantly felt warmer. Within minutes, they had a fire going, and they began to warm up even more. "I can hardly feel the wind here," said Brennan. "I know," said Dad as he turned bacon in the frying pan. "We can hear it blowing all around us, but the rocks protect us from its effects." He cracked some eggs into the pan. This huge rock is a good picture of what the Bible means when it says God is our rock. He gives shelter and protection, and we can trust him even though there's chaos all around. "My teacher at church said something like that," said Brennan, "but I didn't really know what it meant until now." Dad put the bacon and eggs on their plates, and Brennan poured hot chocolate out of the thermos. "I'm glad we came," said Brennan, "but I'd hate to be out here very long without this rock to shelter us." "Me too," said Dad. "It reminds me that life can also bring many storms, and I'd hate to be in this world without God, our rock, to shelter me." In today's story, Brennan's Christmas tradition was saved by a giant rock. When has God been a rock of protection for you or your family? Deborah, what do you say?
God has protected me many times, like giving us a house to stay in when there's a blizzard outside.
And how about Ella? How has God protected you?
God is the rock of protection for us when we have really bad struggles going on. He allows us to stay calm and look to Him for what to do in times of trouble.
Those are great answers, and I'm so glad that you sent them in. By the way, if you're listening and you have a good answer for today's question, let me know. I would love to hear from you. You can send your answer when you get your parents' permission first, then go to keysforkids.net and tap on Open Mic in the menu. So, how about you? Have you ever stood behind a big rock just to get out of the wind? Rocks can protect you in many ways, and the Bible says God is a rock for Christians. He gives shelter and protection from the bad things of this world. Remember that He is there for you during storms in your life. The difficult experiences that you sometimes have to face are like storms. Go to Him and trust Him to see you through. Our key verse for today is Psalm 62:6.
He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved.
And our key thought today, God shelters His own. Hey, did you know that you can get the key verse and discussion questions for every Countdown to Christmas episode? Yeah, all you have to do is take mom or dad and go to keysforkids.net/countdown. There you can download a printable version of the Countdown to Christmas Advent cards and see all the other Christmas fun we're playing for you on Keys for Kids Radio. I'm Zach on the Countdown to Christmas, a podcast from Keys for Kids Radio at keysforkids.net.